Hey guys, it's Ryan from Ranked, and today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on how to determine how much revenue SEO could potentially generate for your business. Sometimes when you mention building a website or doing a Google business profile, small business owners will look at you funny and be like, huh? Why do you do that? Because they simply don't understand or don't know the potential benefits of managing their online reputation. All right, so the first step in this process is we need to go to Google Ads because Google Ads has a tool called the Google Keyword Planner. And this actually is going to give us a rough estimate of the search volume in our area. Once you've signed into your account, you're going to go to the search bar up here. You're going to type in Google Keyword Planner, and then you're going to come down here to get search volume and forecasts. And then you're going to type in the keywords that are most likely ideal for your target customers. So in this case, I'm going to do plumber near me and water heater replacement or drain cleaning. And also when you get keywords like this, plumber, it's important to know that some people searching plumber are going to need a plumber, but there also could be people typing in what is a plumber. So I don't always like to do this. I like to keep it to transactional keywords. So in this case, plumber near me is obviously someone looking for a plumber right now. And I'm going to just click get started and we're off. Next up, you're going to want to refine this down to your ideal service area. So in this case, plumbers is typically 15 to 20 miles. In some cases, they're willing to go 30. For this example, I'm going to do it down here in Palm Beach County. So I'll just start to type in some locations and I'm going to include them. So West Palm Beach, we'll do. Also, you could just do the county if you wanted to do it a little bit faster, but it's not as accurate. So in this case, I'm just going to list out each individual city that this company may service. And as you can see now, I've listed out all of the cities they service roughly. There's still some areas that I missed, but it just gets you a general idea for the purpose of this video. And then I've also added a few more keywords. I could probably add 50 keywords if I wanted. I just added some of the more common ones. And you could see the average monthly search volume. And we're actually going to do this September to September, so it's over 12 months. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add up all of these searches. And after adding it up, I got 4,780, which is probably closer to the low end, but we'll roll with it for this video. So next, I went to the ChatGPT Agent 5 deep research tool, and I asked it to put together a formula for me, calculating the local 3-pack websites and local service ads. I know that LSA is paid advertising, but I do believe you are still competing to show up in certain positions when you are doing that. So it is considered, in my opinion, it's important with SEO that you do have LSA, especially if you're a plumber. If you've done LSA as a plumber before, there's a good chance that you already know that sometimes you want a lot more calls than LSA is giving you, and you're constantly trying to get reviews and optimize your online profile to get more calls. But anyways, when I come down here, I ask it if the search volume is 4,780 a month. It gives me 214 calls. First place SEO, not always realistic for everybody. So then I asked, what if you're in third place? And we got 132 calls. And then on top of that, I like to consider how many calls are you actually booking. Some CSRs are trained and they do a great job. They book closer to 80-90% of calls for plumbing companies. Other times I've seen lower ends of like 30%, 25%. So I also went and I did the math. So that's potentially 105 calls a month from SEO. On the low end, we could do it as well. So we'll do 25. So 33 calls. Just depends on how well trained your CSRs are at that point. And then the average ticket for plumbers I've seen is typically between $650 and $1,000. So we could do $850 for this example, I guess. And that's potentially $89,000 a month in revenue from SEO. Now, a lot of these businesses already capture some of their customers through SEO, whether they realize it or not. But there's also cases where people don't have a Google business profile for their company. They don't even have a functional website, or maybe the website is 20 years old. That's where you start to see just massive improvements to their company through SEO. There's always room to improve for everybody, but in just some cases, it's much bigger of a change than others. I hope this video makes it easy to streamline the process of how to calculate how beneficial SEO is for your company, or could be for your company. And I also, on a side note, want to mention that I do think it is important to know what your average ticket price is, as well as tracking your CSR reps calls to see what your conversion rate is on each month. So for example, if you get 10 calls, are you converting 2 of those calls to book jobs, or are you converting 8 of them? Until next time though, have a good day, and peace out.